Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Monday, November 19th, 2012. This is Texan TV News from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I am Keanu Perez. In today's headline, what sounded like a gunfire shot on campus puts everyone in fright. Thanksgiving feast at Morgan Mill ISD and the special guests that attended. Lackland Air Force Base personnel caught in sex scandal and other misconduct. Twinkies likely to survive hostess bankruptcy. German police stop man with mobile office in car. Tarleton's basketball game. Today's weather. Now today's top story. Friday afternoon around 5 p.m., a maintenance man working in apartment complex Bosque Crossing at Tarleton State University reported sound of gunfire on the 4th floor of Bosque. I was at the scene. I'm Keanu Perez here at Bosque Crossing, where within the hour, a report of gunfire was reported. Residents coming back to their rooms were not allowed to enter, and police officials looked into rooms. Here are some witness reports. I'm Keanu Perez here with Clay Coble, who was in his room during the report of the shooting. Clay, did you hear any noise of this sort?
I was in my room making popcorn when I heard the noise, but I just thought it was the popcorn, so I didn't really pay any attention to it.
Did any police officials knock on your door?
They didn't, but they did go to the doors around.
Thank you. I'm here with Marty Stinson. Marty, can you please tell us what you walked up into?
Well, I just got off work from the wreck and saw about 7 police officers here at Tarleton pointing up to the 4th floor of Bosque. Like they had heard a gunshot.
When you walked up to your room, were you allowed to enter?
I was not. Had to wait about 20 minutes.
What were the officials doing?
They were searching rooms, knocking on to see where they had heard the noise.
Have you heard any suspicion or what the noise could have been?
I've heard it was fireworks. That's what I believe. I believe it was firecrackers.
Thank you. After investigation, Tarleton police officials said it was fireworks. In local news from Stephenville Empire Tribune, Friday, Morgan Mill ISD held its annual Thanksgiving feast. Residents from around the country were invited to the school's gymnasium. The crowd was highly excited to know that soldiers from Fort Hood were the honored guests of the feast. The crowd gave a standing ovation as the soldiers arrived. Todd Whitehead, a Stephenville resident, said, "It's always great to see how everyone comes out in support of the kids and troops." Teresa Nightingale, a 6th grade teacher, said, "This was what Thanksgiving is all about." Tarleton's Dr. Tavio and his wife Lisette also stopped by, joining in on the fun. "It was the most remarkable community event I've ever seen," said Tavio. "The spirit and the pride they reflected here and the amount of enthusiasm and joy that takes place is unlike anything I've seen." Newly elected State Representative J.D. Sheffield dropped in to visit. "I think this is a great representation of what small-town folks are all about," he said. "It's about giving to each other and celebrating a sense of community." Dean Edwards, the district superintendent for 28 years, said, "It's a wonderful opportunity for our kids to learn to give back, practice their patriotism, and to participate in the community service. It's a great opportunity to thank the individuals who ensure our freedoms." And now, today's Texas, national, and international news from the Associated Press. In state news, the Associated Press reports of misconduct between instructor and recruits at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. Since 2002, the base has had 81 non-sexual cases of misconduct and nearly 36 cases involving sexual relationships. 23 instructors and 48 recruits were allegedly engaged in inappropriate sexual relationships. Some trainers were accused of obstructing justice, lying to superiors, assault and battery, and in one instance, larceny. Use of drugs, drinking, and driving, and abuse have also been reported. Records of the offenses were released to the San Antonio Express News. In national news, according to the AP, the Tasty Cream filling golden sponge cakes are likely to survive, even though their maker will be sold in bankruptcy court. Hostess Brands Incorporation, baker of Wonder Bread, as well as Twinkies, Ding Dongs, and Ho-Hos, is in a New York bankruptcy courtroom today to start the process of selling itself. The company, weighed down by debt, management, turmoil, rising labor costs, and the changing taste of America, decided on Friday that it no longer could make it through a conventional Chapter 11 bankruptcy restructuring. Instead, it's asking the court for permission to sell assets and go out of business. But with high brand recognition and $2.5 billion in revenue per year, other companies are interested in bidding for at least pieces of Hostess. Twinkies alone have brought in $68 million in revenue so far this year, which would look good to another snack maker. Hostess has said it has received inquiries about buying part of the company, but spokesman Lance Ignon would not commit. Little will be decided today's afternoon's hearing before bankruptcy. Judge Robert Drain said John Patel, a University of Michigan Law School professor who specializes in bankruptcy. The judge eventually will appoint a company that specializes in liquidation to sell the assets, and the sales probably will take 6 months to a year to complete. Patel also claimed. In international news, the AP reports that German police say they nabbed a driver who had wired his Ford station wagon with an entire mobile office. Saraland State Police said Friday the 35-year-old man was pulled over doing 130 kilometers per hour in a 100 kilometer per hour zone while passing a truck Monday. Built on a wooden frame on his passenger seat, they found a laptop on a docking station tilted for easy driving access, a printer, router, wireless internet stick, wireless local area network antenna, and an inverter to power it all. A navigation system and cell phone mounted to the windshield completed the array. Since there was no evidence he used the office while moving, he got away with a speeding ticket and possible fine for having unsecured items in his car. The latest sports news from the Tarleton Sports Information. Tarleton's Brian Ward scored a career-high 17 points Friday night and made a three-pointer with 3.5 minutes to secure the win and to get Texans the first win of the season. The Texans defeated Texas Paramount Basin 60-46 in the second game of the Taco Bell Texan Tip-Off Classic at Wisdom Gym in Stephenville. Unlike Monday's opener for Tarleton, the Texans closed out the game well, shooting over 50% from the field and keeping the Falcons to less than 40% in the final 20 minutes. Now today's weather is high of 72 degrees with winds 13 miles per hour and a 20% chance of rain. Today's broadcast was produced by Jordan Simons, Ryan Mishu, and Becca Escobar. You can follow us on ustream.tv/user/Texan News Service. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I am Keanu Perez. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.